In the unpredictable world of pawn shops, especially one as iconic as porn stars, you never know what kind of treasure or trouble might walk through the door. Get ready, because we're diving into some of the most jaw-dropping, legally questionable items ever to hit the pawn counter. Some are rare, others strange, and a few are downright shocking. Items that make even the most seasoned experts pause and ask, is this even legal to touch? Imagine holding a piece of history that could tie a top government official to a federal crime. That's exactly what happened when a man brought in a collection of personal items once owned by former US Attorney General J. Howard McGrath. Among them, a White House pass, letters signed by J. Edgar Hoover and Hubert Humphrey, and McGrath's Secret Service ID. But the real shocker? Half of a $10 bill, signed and preserved, turned out to be counterfeit. Now, it's important to understand the context. The Secret Service was established in 1865, primarily to combat rampant counterfeiting, which at the time made up nearly 1/3 of all US currency. The pawnshop owner verified the note's authenticity using a method involving red and blue silk fibres embedded in genuine currency paper. Once it was confirmed to be fake, an expert was called in, who advised that even if McGrath kept it as a souvenir, possession of counterfeit currency is still a federal crime. The only legal course of action? Turn it over to the Secret Service. The next item looked like something from a spy thriller, a charming antique desk that doubled as a hidden firearm. The seller bought it at an estate auction, thinking it would be perfect as a guest book stand, until she tried to open it and accidentally discovered a working pistol mechanism inside. This ingenious but deadly design involved a hidden trigger beneath the inkwell. When pressed, it released a hammer and fired tiny bullets through a concealed trapdoor. Rick, the shop's owner, had seen guns hidden in canes, swords, and even cameras, but never a desk. While it may have been intended as a novelty or a movie prop, it created a legal headache. Here's the issue. Firearms made before 1898 are considered antiques and are exempt from registration. Anything made after that must be registered, and this desk fell into a grey zone. The patent number etched into it began with 1, but the rest was unreadable, placing its possible creation anywhere from the 1890s to early 1900s. That meant, unless Rick could confirm it was pre-1898, he couldn't legally buy it. To complicate things further, the desk was a concealed weapon, another legal issue altogether. An expert explained that the gun mechanism would need to be professionally disabled to make the item legal. Despite being one of the coolest artifacts he'd ever seen, Rick had to pass until it was made safe and compliant with the law. Next came a stunning musical instrument, an old guitar crafted from glowing, multicoloured tortoiseshell. While visually breathtaking, this beauty came with serious legal baggage. Tortoiseshell had long been valued for its durability and aesthetics, used in items ranging from combs to sunglasses to guitar picks. But by the early 1970s, the material was banned globally due to its ties to endangered species. The seller had purchased the guitar from another pawn shop, but later learned that similar items had been seized by authorities in the UK and Australia. Rick was immediately concerned. If the guitar was made after the ban on endangered species materials, it would be illegal to buy or sell, regardless of intent. He compared it to finding a bald eagle feather. Even if you think it's a turkey feather, ignorance won't save you from a $10,000 fine if you're wrong. A guitar expert confirmed the instrument's historical value, noting they were often brought back from the Pacific and could fetch high prices. But he issued a dire warning. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. He knew of people who had been placed under house arrest and fined $20,000 for violating endangered species laws. with concerns about possible jail time for his own children, Rick ultimately declined to purchase the guitar. The seller was left to find out what she could do legally with the piece. The next item looked innocent enough. A tiny German Minox 3 spy camera from the 1950s, about the size of a cigarette lighter. It functioned like most vintage cameras: load the film, point, and click. The seller said it had belonged to their grandfather, who served in Germany during the 50s, and hoped to get $150 for it to celebrate their 30th birthday. But the pawn shop saw multiple red flags. First, the technology was outdated, and film was nearly impossible to find. Second, someone had engraved the name Bill McCord and a social security number into the camera,